Hey writer, welcome in. I am Janetta Shorter, the teller of tales that heal, but more than that, I am your champion and your cheerleader for you to start your writing journey and dream. If you're anything like me, I started dabbling in writing when I was like 9 years old. At 9 years old, the world is your oyster, and I was taking little composition books and writing 80 pages front and back of that book and ending in, I had the 3-structure act even at 9. And then you find that you start to live, you get married, you have kids or whatever, or just life passes you by. But there's this little thing inside of you that's saying, I really want to write. Well, welcome to your channel. This will be the channel where I will champion you and challenge you and cheerlead you on to your writing journey and dream. It is your time. On this channel, we will explore how to marry your life experience to your voice to write your first novel, how to plot and plan your story, practical tips for writing your first draft, edits and all things editing, from programs to help you to self-editing and tips on choosing an editor. Moving past words to design as we look at cover and back design, web page and social media exposure, and so much more. I am going to encourage you to get a few things. 1, a notebook. You might want to get yourself a nice little notebook where you can keep all of your notes, all of your, notes to yourself and notes from the videos. That's going to be helpful. 2, find your most luscious pen. I will not write with anything but a Pilot G-2 bold pen. Just have to have it. Can't write with anything else. And I would say the last thing that you may want to consider is your drink of choice, tea, water, coffee. Just make yourself comfy. And then I think the final thing would be to just make sure that you get you set up your playlist, because I'm going to be referring to some authors that I definitely have followed over these last years that I've sat at their feet at, and it would be great for you to add to your growing playlist. So you may ask, Janetta, where am I even supposed to start? So I want to give you a couple of questions. Did you get your notebook? Because pause this and go get your notebook, because we're starting out the gate. I'm going to tell you something about me. I cannot stand these videos that do a bunch of talking and don't have you doing what it said it was going to do. So one thing about me, if I say we're starting out the gate, we are starting out the gate. So pause this, go get your notebook, go get a Post-it note, go get your pen, because we're just gonna do a little bit of thinking through what point of view your bubbling, pending story is going to use as a springboard for the next steps of your novel writing dream and career, possibly. Now that you have your notebook, let's start in our time of reflection. Question 1. List 3 to 5 key lessons learned over your life to date. Question 2. When you look over your life, describe 3 to 5 experiences that impacted you deeply. Question 3. What are 3 obstacles you had to overcome that taught lessons you live by today? Question 4. If you had to sum it all up, what is the one key message you want to relay? Hey, so how are those questions for you? A little deep, right? I know. One of the things that I have found in my writing journey is that those are the questions that I have written from as a springboard. One thing about me that is, I'm never going to write the trend because, I'm just not interested in it, and it's not the most authentic. So many of the authors that I deeply respect, like Alice Walker, Toni Morrison, God rest her soul, Nisaki Shangi, Gloria Naylor, Tana Reid Dew, who's still with us, Octavia Butler, like so many of them wrote from a space and place of questioning and pain and seeking to work through those things. And so I think that the best novels come through that space of authenticity. I just do. So, my hope is that in our time together, we will be able to help you, or I will be able to help you to reach that space of authenticity, and that when you write your works of art, that it will come from that space and place. In our next time together, I'm just going to go through what you can expect from this channel in the coming weeks. And I'm just so excited for the work that we're going to do together. So plotting and planning and writing your novel. With plotting, we're going to explore just sort of the characters, the place, the colors, the feel, and the messaging of your novel. Plotting your novel, there's two worlds of thought, right? There's the plotting where you're actually, you have an outline, you have like beats to your outline, and from beginning to end. And then there's the pantsing. So pantsing is when you just go, hey, I'm just going to write and see what happens. So in both scenarios, there is a bit of planning, and in my experience, in both plotting and pantsing my novels, at some point you do have to stop and go, okay, where's this going? But in the plotting, planning, and writing of the novel, we're going to actually explore that in this series. Okay, so in the practical tips for writing your first draft, for me, whether I'm plotting in stage one, we talked about that, or plotting or pantsing, I'm just in that series, I'm going to talk to you about just some things that can help you as you're writing. Like, for instance, for me, I will sometimes read books that's in the genre that I'm writing, or in the energy of what I'm writing. Sometimes, and this is one of my favorite shows, Scandal. Sometimes I'll watch shows that gives me the sort of the rhythm, right? The rhythm of how I want to write. So we'll talk about that, and just some practical tips as far as, if you want to, if you want to define an amount of words that you want to meet, or if you want an amount of pages. For me, it's pages. I'm finding that pages are a thing for me. From my writing coach, I learned that a good 3 pages per day, because I work a 9 to 5. I found that a good 3 to 5 pages for 3 to 5 pages for me per day works. But you have to go off of what works for you. But in that series, we're going to discuss some practical tips to help you to get that first draft done. So as far as editing, There are so many opinions about editing. So this is what I am going to explore in the coming episodes. Editing is important. It is very important, but as an indie author, your coin is not that long right now. More than likely, you are working from limited funds. I know for me, I work a 9-to-5. So my funds, me funding my writing is out of my job. And so one of the things we'll talk about in this episode is like editing tools. Like for me, I use Pro Writing Aid, which helps me to get the first, helps me to get, nip at the first, thing, the first grammatical errors or sentence placements or whatever. I also, I use, I did get an editor, my first novel, and it was money that I probably shouldn't have spent. So we'll explore other alternatives until you can actually afford an editor, because there are ways around it that I have actually done, and I found it to be economical for me at this time. And we'll explore the same options for you. But I just want to say, you are going to need someone to edit your novel. So design. This is a thing that oftentimes, your cover means everything, right? Unfortunately, your book will be read by its cover, or it won't be read by its cover. I have had the experience, I had the experience of working with a creative team, and so I do have sort of a creative eye around design, but everyone doesn't have that. My experience as a writer was, I had explored getting someone or trying to hire someone to design my cover, and I grew disinterested because it was very expensive. I was getting quotes of $2,500, $3,000, and I'm like, whoa, I can't even pay that. But also I just didn't find that their artistry spoke to my book. So in this series, I'm going to do a little bit, and I'm going to tell you that's a hard thing, because you either have the eye or you don't. But I'm going to explore with you, ways that you can do your own cover art. I use Canva. I want to grow so that I'm using Adobe and Photoshop, but Canva has been a very great place to start for those who are just beginning in their author journey. So I'm gonna do a small little workshop in this series of how you can actually, do your own cover art for your novel. For social media, I have to pause on that because I know that being out in public may be a very hard space, right? But I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying that social media is an absolute must, but in some ways it is a must because it is the marketing arm that you're going to use for your novel. And so in that series, I'm going to just share with you some things that I have done to market my novels out there, some tips and tricks, some things that I've used from my own journey, some things that have worked, some things that have not worked, but just want to give you some tips as to how once your novel, even before you get your novel out there, just to give you some tips on how to start getting people interested in your novel and in the coming publishing of your novel. I'm also going to share with you just some real realities about how to not expect the people that you tell that you're writing a novel to support you, because they may or may not. We'll talk about it. Finally, we will discuss the technology of publishing. So when you self-publish, there's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind. For me, because I was not traditionally publishing, I did have to open up my own publishing house or my own publishing mechanism. So I'm self-publishing. So we'll go through that, and we'll talk about what that looks like and what you can do and the pricing thereof. We're going to talk about ISBNs. Your ISBN number for your novel, you want to purchase them. We're going to talk about the pricing of publishing, because there's prices affiliated with that. We are going to talk about and explore KDP and what that is, and how that's sort of like the first place. It really is the first place that authors begin to publish get their novels out there and in the world. We're going to talk about how to upload your novel onto Kindle or KDP. We're gonna just discuss really the technology and sort of the legal parts of self-publishing that you should know, that I've had to experience or that I have experienced, because ultimately I just want you to do this. And the thing is that I will tell you the truth at this point. I have published my first 2 novels. I'm developing a readership, but I want to just get you on the path to doing this in a way that satisfies your soul. I'm not here to promise you that you're going to have great sales, because you won't. Let's just be honest. You won't have great sales at your first, second, third, fourth novel. Your 5th novel, if you stay consistent, it is the promise that you will. But what I do want to do in this channel is I want to cheerlead, champion, and challenge you to get your words out there. Writing is hard work, but it is a fun journey of exploration too. Together we will create an amazing writing space that will hold your creativity through this process, with the end result of your first published novel. Thank you so much for joining me for my first YouTube video. I was so nervous, but I'm so happy that you stayed. As you can see, we have a lot to go through. We have a lot of things that we are going to journey through together. I just want to say again, thank you. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you for our next episode, where we start to look at different genres and where your voice might be perfect to start writing therein. See you soon.